Hi, my name is Megan Murdoch, and this is my video submission of Assignment 2 for PCOM550. Here we are at Canada's Parliament, which I thought was fitting because I analysed the culture of a minister's office, specifically how loyalty forms a central part of that culture. Briefly, the minister's office is a political office of an elected member of Parliament who has been appointed as a minister by the Prime Minister and given a mandate to oversee a specific department. I'm a political staff member for a Minister of State for Finance, who oversees elements of the Department of Finance. It goes without saying that working in politics is not for the faint of heart. It can be demanding, exhausting, and all-consuming, particularly political communications, given the 24-hour news cycle. As George Cheney and his colleagues explain, culture refers simultaneously to things that are similar and things that are different. In this way, it is important to recognize that I'm not a public servant. Ministerial staff are called exempt staff. Basically, this means that we don't receive all the benefits and protections that a unionized public servant does. For example, ministerial staff work late nights with no overtime pay. Ministers are also not bound by the formal hiring and termination processes. Informally, we are expected to work at the pleasure of the minister. If the minister is not pleased by your work, he can terminate your position. If government changes, from conservative to liberal for example, you lose your job. Therefore, ministerial staff are not loyal to the position or even to the company. We are loyal to the leadership, and through them we are loyal to the voters. This loyalty is part of the glue that binds us in ministers' offices together through the ups and downs. Loyalty is best recognized if we deconstruct the culture of a minister's office using Edgar Sheen's 3 levels of culture. First, there is an underlying assumption that staff have a sense of duty to the public. The voter is valued above all, and everything we do must benefit the voter. For example, when contemplating a new policy, the underlying assumption is that it must serve the Canadian public's best interests. This value of public service or loyalty to the voter is reinforced by the fact that our minister is a member of Parliament who was democratically elected by the constituents of his riding. Secondly, ministerial staff must share the same political beliefs and values as the minister and ultimately be loyal to the conservative ideology. These beliefs and values are what Sheen refers to as the second level of culture. In the last three elections, the Canadian electorate democratically voted in a government with a conservative mandate and conservative values. Therefore, ministerial staff have the responsibility to ensure that those values are expressed through the kind of policy and the communication by this government. There are certain identification requirements, such as a membership card of the Conservative Party of Canada. Ministerial staff is expected to be loyal to these beliefs and values outside the office as well. For example, it is expected that I would not join a Liberal protest or vote New Democratic Party. And lastly, by analyzing different ministers' offices, it is easy to see how language and artifacts play a role in creating specific cultures that staff are a part of and ultimately loyal to. This is Sheen's third and most visible level of a culture. For example, in the Agriculture Minister's office, Western attire such as cowboy boots were often worn. On one of my first trips with the minister, I experienced a rite of integration when I bought my first pair, costing almost $200. The language of the office was also very casual, frank, and folksy. In comparison, suits and ties are worn in the Finance Minister's office. Language is much more formal and based on facts and figures. These artifacts and language may make someone feel more comfortable in one office over another. Furthermore, terminology such as opposition is used to describe the other political parties, once again reinforcing loyalty to the one that you work for. In conclusion, the culture of a minister's office is based firmly on loyalty. By being loyal to our minister, we are doing our part to support the government as a whole. And when our minister is well supported, he is more likely to get elected again as a member of Parliament. And when enough members of Parliament from the same party are re-elected, that party forms government. And it is only when a conservative government is elected that I have the opportunity, because of my shared beliefs and values, to work in a minister's office, and in the end, serve the Canadian public.